This is Pastor Jason Sparks of Grace Gospel Baptist Church, and we're back tonight for our last installment of the COVID-19 devotions that we prepared specifically for some folks working in the healthcare industry and dealing with patients that have this horrible virus. And you've heard from me, and you've heard from our pastor of outreach, Pastor Mallon. And now we have our youth pastor, Brother Tyler Hudson, who's going to talk on Romans 8 and 28 and the fact that God is working in the midst of our crisis. I want you to listen up and enjoy tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
Verse number 28, it says, "And we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose." I like the beginning of that verse, and we know that all things work together for good. I want you to notice that verse does not say everything is good. This virus and this pandemic, this crisis that we're in, it is not a good thing. We're not in a good spot in America. But it does not say that all things are good. But I am so thankful this morning it says that all things work together for good. And what that means is that if you're in here and you're saved and you're on your way to heaven, you know that Jesus Christ lives on the inside. That means that you can trust in every single promise that is found here in this Word of God, this King James Bible. And I truly do believe that if it says, and we know that all things work together for good, that this coronavirus, though it is bad now, though it is a hard time now, that it will eventually work together for good. And though we don't see why you may be having to live away from your family, and we don't see why you've got to be living in the stress of working on this COVID floor, I can promise and assure you that according to the Word of God, it will work together for good. And all you've got to do is if you'll just look to the Lord for help, and you'll lean on the Lord for help, and you'll love the Lord with everything you've got, I promise this will work together for good. America's made it through so much. We've made it through so many problems and trials and ups and downs that I have no doubt in my mind that if the Lord could bring us through all the stuff of the past, that God can bring us through this coronavirus. And I wanted to say once again, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for being on the front lines. Thank you for doing what a lot of people wouldn't do and working on that COVID floor and doing everything you can to try and help us as a people. And I promise and assure you that God will make it work together for good. Though we don't understand what's going on now, we don't understand why we're going through it, I can promise you that God will make it work together for good. Thank you so much, and I'd like to pray for you before I end this video. Dear Lord, I love you. God, I thank you for so much for everything you do for us, God. God, I pray you'd give these nurses and these doctors strength in this hour of need. God, I pray you'd help them as they're just trying to seek you, and they're trying to help us as a people, and they're out there working and risking their lives and their health, God, just to give us the help and the care that we need. Lord, I pray you'd help them, God. I pray that you'd encourage them, Lord. I love you and I thank you.